Hey everyone, welcome to Geekettes Chat. I am Shirley, and this is something I always wanted to start to do, which basically was review books, comic books, graphic novels, because they're books too. So I always wanted to start this when I began Geekettes Chat with my sister Christy, but we just sticked with movies and TV shows, but it was always there ever since the inception of Geekettes Chat, which was like in 2013. Wow, that's a long time. So I was just always like, all right, I'm going to do books. I'm going to review them because books are so important to me, aside from movies as well. And so, but again, I just never got around to it because I guess I was just scared. For one, I was scared. But I think too, because I was just like, it could be kind of laziness, it's like, or just, like the scared and you don't want to go into it and you're like, all right, let me hold back. So I think that's why I never like officially started to review books until like now with everything going on and, you're kind of stuck at home more. And for me personally, I was like, you know what? I should start reviewing books. This is what I always wanted to do since we started Geekettes Chat. So I was like, let's do it. So this is like the first review video of books. But I'm starting with graphic novels because it's easier for me. And I'll get into that a little later. But yeah, this is the first video and I'm excited. And yeah, so I'm going to be calling, I guess, the parts of reviewing books on our channel, on Geekettes channel, Geekettes Chat Reading Corner. And so basically, this is welcome to Geekettes Chat Reading Corner. Yes, subscribe, like, and, write down any books you want us to review or, anything you're reading now, or be it audiobooks as well, because I've been reading audiobooks too. So yes, the first two, I guess, graphic novels I am reading that I thought would be easier for me to get into to start with this first video would be the Old Guard 1, Volume 1, and Old Guard Volume 2. So, yes, because I love the movie, so I was like, let me just start. I was like, I love the film. It's on Netflix. Check it out. Directed by Gina, Prince-Bythewood. And I was like, oh, let me get the comic books or graphic novels. And I was like, this would be easy. And, I love these characters in this world. And, yes, I'm going to get into it. First, I also wanted to start off with this first video saying how I got into books and why books and just reading in general is so important to me. Basically, I never used to read. I actually struggled with reading. Words couldn't get to me on the page, like be a basic word. I struggled a lot. And so I never got into reading. But when I was a kid, I was bullied a lot as well. And I got bullied so bad that there was one point where I literally left the school because the bully just could not stop. I told the teacher about the bullying and she would not leave me alone, and I had to leave the school because it got really bad. So it was just, it is what it is, it happens, and it's just part of my life and my history. So, and it made me grow as a person. So yes, so the bullying, and I didn't really have a lot of friends, so it just reading, I guess the reading helped me because with the first Harry Potter movie coming out, yes, won't mention the author, but with the first Harry Potter movie and me getting bullied a lot and not really having much friends, and the only friend I had at that time was just basically my friend because she used to ask for money or candy from me, and that's the only reason why she was my friend. Yeah, that's freaking sad, and that's why I stayed chilled with her. No. But it is what it is. And this happened in a Catholic school, believe it or not. St. Patrick's. You don't remember, so yeah. And so basically I was depressed. And to be honest, I used to have suicidal thoughts too when I was a child and when I was getting bullied. So when I saw the first Harry Potter trailer for the first movie, I was like, wow, what is that world? It's so interesting and fascinating, and those kids are my age. So I wanted to do that, and my sister was like, oh, these are books, because she was reading the first book. And she was like, well, see the movie if you read the first book. So that's how I got into reading, because it was just to not only see the film, but it was another world to escape to from my world of like all the things I was going through, and just finding peace and solace with going to the wizarding world, as you say, going to Hogwarts and being a Gryffindor, or Slytherin, or Hufflepuff, or or Ravenclaw. I'm a Hufflepuff. I took the test on Pottermore. I'm a Hufflepuff, and Christy's a Ravenclaw. So yeah, and so it just, and that's why just escaping that world and going into another world with fantasy, and just being alive and just being myself and not getting bullied for that was why I love reading, and I still love reading to this day, because it got me into just expressing myself and just growing as a person. And now as an adult, I truly appreciate and love me. And so with all my flaws and everything. So yes. So I just wanted to go into that history a little bit, why I started reading and loving reading, and now starting now with this first video of reading books and reviewing books and all that stuff. So yes, Olgar Volume 1 is basically, if you haven't seen the film, there's these 4 immortals. There's Andy, Booker, Joe, and Nicky, who are a queer couple. They're a gay couple, and one is Muslim, one is Christian, and they're amazing. I love them. But and I love Andy and Booker. And then they basically, oh, this is not Volume 1. This is Volume 2. Volume 1. Right? They basically go around the world. They've been living for centuries, just saving people, going into these, these world issues of like just wanting to help people who are dealing with all these evil things, corruption, or anything bad that's happening to a community. They are there to help. Of course, they do it through violence, which is an interesting aspect to look into, because they are warriors, and they're like, they do it with guns and everything. And so, but their main goal or opposition is basically to just help people, and so they go anywhere just to help people. And yes, and so basically, if you haven't seen the film, they want to help these girls who got captured. They're working again with Copley, who used to be a CIA agent, but he's not anymore, and he's working freelance. And he's like, look, and through Booker tells them, Andy, Nicky, and Joe, like, look, we can help save these girls. And so then they go and help save these girls, but it was actually an ambush, because Copley wants the mortals to take them through. He's working with Merrick, who's this farmer bro, he's trying to, he wants to take the immortals like genes, and to like test them to see like to cure any type of disease, to help anybody who has a sickness, and to cure it with the immortals' immortality. They don't really explain how he would do that, but it is what it is. So yeah, and so that's just basically what it happens, and they figure it out. They also meet the new immortal, Nile, who I love, and she was a Marine, but she got killed in battle. And she's young. She's like, what the hell is going on? And so she's scared, and like, but they bring her in. They welcome her in. They're like, look, they're a family, basically. Well, in the movie, they're more like a family. In the book, you still kind of see they're like, well, actually, not really, because here's the thing. In the movie, she meets Joe and Nicky, Joe and Nicky and Booker in the dinner scene. Here in the comic book, she doesn't meet Joe and Nicky until like after they got captured, and they're gonna go save them. And so this is why I love the movie more, because actually, to be honest, in the comic book, they don't really go into characterizations that much. It's like it's a simple comic book, which is not bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but like it doesn't really go into characterizations more, or those little simple moments that the film does. You know, you get these lines and in these expressions from the characters in the movie that you don't really get in the comic book. You know, so it's kind of it's a little bit flat. The characterization is, to be honest, flat. But it's still not bad. It's still really enjoyable, and you still get to like kind of see who these characters are, but not much compared to the film. So yes. So yeah, you know, Joe and Nicky get captured. And Nile and Andy notice that Booker is a traitor, because, you know, he traded them to Copley because he wants to die. Basically, Booker and Andy are depressed. Booker's like, I want to die, so capture all my family and test on them to get immortality, you know, to grab their immortality, to find a way to like cure these cancers. That's what I don't understand, is like, if they cure this, you know, these illnesses, like, why did Booker think he was going to die because of that? Like, out of that cureness that they get, I guess he was the thing they told him, Copley and Merrick probably told him, like, oh yeah, we can find these cures through their immortalities of your family members, or, you know, Joe, Nicky and Andy, and you, maybe we could find a way to kill, you know, to murder you, or to kill you, basically, so you could die finally in peace. So, but they don't really explain that aspect. And of course, they don't explain also how they get their immortality as well, which I actually like. I like that. They don't, you know, Greg Rucka, who's the writer, of course, I forgot to mention that, didn't really explain that. And the art is by Leonardo Fernandez. And of course, this is called the Book 1 Opening Fire. I forgot to say that too. And I love this artwork Fernando did. This is Joe basically giving his hand to like Nicky, and in like, I guess a trade, because, you know, they both met through the Holy War. Oh my God, what the hell am I trying to say? The Holy War. And so, you know, Joe of course is his peace offering, saying, hey, come on, because we've been trying to kill each other, you know. Of course, Joe is Muslim, Nicky's Christian, so I think this is the first crusade at 1099. So, and of course they fall in love and are a couple, and they're the best couple, and they're so cute. But yes, also like this artwork too. I like this artwork. This is a nice cover. But to be honest, the artwork, it's very gruesome. Like, their brains and all this stuff is like popping out, and like their brains are showing, and you see, it's like in the movie, but like it's more crazier here. You don't see, sorry, I'm like blocking my face. But yeah, to be honest, I don't really like the artwork. Sorry, Leonardo Fernandez. I don't like it. It's too like grotesque. Sorry. I don't. It's so like, you can't really get a defined feature on their faces or characteristics on their faces. You know, I don't know what it is. It's just, it doesn't look too, I don't know. It doesn't look too good. I don't like it. It's, you know, I don't like it. It's too, yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. So yes, so volume 2, this is volume 2, sorry, and it's called Force Multiply. And I think there's going to be a volume 3. So basically this picks up that they're trying to stop not Quint. We kind of get, so basically Quinn is a character in the movie. They changed her name, and her, I guess her ethnicity as well, because here it's Nicolo, I think that's her name. I could be saying that wrong. I am so sorry. And she was basically Andy's the one of the first immortals Andy met, and she was a warrior too, and they were also lovers or partners. You know, they were in a relationship just like Joe, and they were basically like Joe and Nicky too, and you know they were together as the four of them, like, you know, the queer couples, like fighting crime and helping people and all that stuff. And I thought that's cool. I would like to see a movie or a series about that. That would be cool. But then I'll miss Nile. that would be cool outside. So basically, yeah, they're trying to, you know, they're still doing their same thing. They're saving these group of girls and all that stuff. And Nicolo has Nicole, I think. Oh my god, I'm saying her name wrong. I am so sorry. She has Booker, and you know, she's trying to ask Booker, because you know they left Booker in 100 years because he betrayed them, and they were like, in the first book and stuff, like you have to be 100 years by yourself and then you could come back into the team. So of course she takes him and is like, kidnaps him, and basically is like, you know, torture him in the sense of like, where's the group? You know, she wants to know where the group is at. Where's Andy? Where's Joe? Where's Nicky? Especially Andy, because of course that was her partner. And he's like, he's not telling them or anything like that. So they're going. Andy finds out that she's alive and is, you know, wants to know what happened to her, how she got out, because basically what happened to her, and they explain in this one that she felt. I think I forgot what year it was. Was it the 1600s, or maybe that was just the movie? Because in the movie, Quinn, who's the character, I think that's the character, she goes in the Iron Maiden and drowns in the water for like forever until she escapes. And then in the movie, you see her come back to talk to Booker. That's crazy how she drowned in the water. That's insane. That is scary, to put an Iron Maiden and just drop in the ocean and drown and basically die, and then wake up, drown, and basically die again. That's crazy. But here is that she gets knocked off the base in the boat. They're on the boat with pirates, and I think it's Joe, Nicky, and Andy. And then because of a storm, Nero like falls over the ship, and so she's missing. That's what happens. She just falls out of the ship and drowns, which I'm like, okay. So it's like, oh, it was that simple. And then like, I guess she kept on drowning. I don't know what happened, but that's what happens in the book. And Copley is trying to find all the immortals, and he's looking for them again and all that stuff, and he wants to help them because he feels bad and everything. And yeah, so, and then basically at the end, you know, the group just saves Booker. Joe and Nicky are like, okay, let's go save Booker, because Copley meets with them, and they see each other, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, Nicolo, I think that's how you say her name. I was saying it right. I keep on messing up. Wants to, you know, she has Booker, so she basically he's like, they were like, all right, let's go save Booker. So they go save Booker, and then and then Andy and Nile join them, and then Nicolo was trying to talk to Nile about like, do you really know who Andy is? And then we find out in the end that Andy used to basically, I think how they put it in the movie, used to own, I think she used to own slaves, or she used to be part of like, you know, yeah, I think that's what it is. And she used to do horrible things because, you know, these people live for centuries. And so Nile, of course, Nile, who's an African American woman, is like, no thank you, I'm out, Andy, and all that stuff. And Joe and Nicky follow her, of course, and Booker and Copley, who's working with them because he helped them find Booker. Basically, they go with Nile, and you know, Andy basically is by herself, alone. But then Nicolo finds her in the end, and is like, come with me, Andy, you know, because they love you. She loves her. And so she's like, let's go meet the other immortals. And Andy, of course, goes with her because she loves her too and all that stuff. But, you know, again, I don't know. They don't really explain because, again, characterization is so thin that is Nicolo here in the book. Is she and Andy, are they really in love with each other? Or is Nicolo manipulating Andy or she really loves her? But I guess in the part where Nicolo and Andy are talking in the park, yeah, you kind of get the sense that they do love each other. It's just that, oh, this covered art too. This is them kissing, Nicolo and Andy, which is nice. Or Andromache, that's her name. So, I guess there's a part in this one that they're talking in the park, and you kind of do sense that they do love and care about each other. I just, with the characterization so thin, it's just like you wonder about that. But again, I really like these characters in this comic book, and this world is so interesting. The immortality aspect of living so long, and just with Andy and Booker just being tired of living for so long and forever, and seeing all these atrocities and being part of these atrocities. Then you have Joe and Nicky who are together, and they have that support with each other, that they could go through anything the world throws at them because they have each other and they could go through it together. So you get these aspects, and then you get of the different viewpoints or perspectives, and then you get Nile, who's new to all of this, and you're kind of like in Nile's eyes and seeing everything because Nile's the new character. So it's very interesting. But again, I think the film is so much better because Gina just puts her touches, her characterizations of bringing that and then the acting as well. The acting's so amazing from the whole cast that I think that's what really helps the film being so much better than the graphic novels. But again, these graphic novels I thought were really good because they're really fun, and so yeah. But the movie's better, to be honest. But they're not bad. Yeah. So that is my review of the Old Guard book 1, Opening Fire, and the Old Guard book 2, Force Multiply. So yeah, and so now so that's my review, and I'm gonna be doing more of these Geekettes chat reading corners. I think I'm gonna do next. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, because I already read this. Song of Achilles, I think, is the next review. I read this already. Achilles and Patroclus, their relationship, but I have a lot of things to say about this book. This cover is really nice, but that's good. And also Penguin Classics, because I won this in a contest, and I won the code to see this movie, Martin Eden. I actually I will put the review down below because that's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. Just put Martin Eden on Google and see where you could actually see it. Because I think it's streaming, and I actually got the book for free from the contest from Penguin Classics, Martin Eden. So I think this would also be one of the book. Yeah, actually, I will review this book because it's set not in Italy like the film. It's set, I think, in San Francisco. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting, and there's gonna be other books I want to review as well. There's gonna be so much more, and yeah, I'm not gonna read like 7 books in 24 hours. I'm not that type of person. I am a slow reader. I take things slow. Also, I read books now with audiobooks. Like, I think, the next books also will be Dracula and Frankenstein, because I have a lot to say about those 2 books, because personally for me it's just really hard. So I needed audiobooks to read with them as well. I think it's just the old English type of writing that's just like getting to me. So yes, I'm just really slow as a reader, and also my intake of reading. So you're just gonna get these reviews like this and these books like whenever I finally get to like be like, here, this is a review. So yes, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, ring that bell to get a notification for our new videos of film reviews, TVs, and also now book reviews. So thank you for watching Geekettes Reading Corner, and write down any books you are reading, any audiobooks you're reading, any audio or review books, or books you want us to review as well. So yes, and say if you read the Old Guard or any of the 2 volumes, say what you like or what you didn't like or anything like that. So thanks for watching. Peace.